Hey, what's going on, everyone? Aaron Murray, former University of Georgia quarterback, here with a special edition of the Players Lounge. Going to be co-hosting with my guy, Pearce Spurlin, and then Ryan Puglisi joining us, the future stud quarterback, young pup in the quarterback room from upstate in Boston, joining us here to talk about heading into his second season at the University of Georgia. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive. What got him into football? Why did he choose University of Georgia? His goals, expectations as he gets ready for spring ball and beyond here at UGA. So, man, appreciate you joining us here today. Appreciate you co-hosting me right now.
I appreciate you having me sit next to you.
Yeah. Good looking Gru right here.
Of course.
Some big old hands over here too, both you guys. Good for you guys. No Jalen Milroe tiny hands. All right, let's get into the conversation here. I want to go into your history a little bit, your past. Where are you from? Why you started playing football? When you started playing football? So, just give the UJ crowd kind of your background.
Yeah, well, I'm from born in Portsmouth, New Hampshire originally, small town in New Hampshire, and then I moved when I was about 5 years old up to Massachusetts, in a small city called Worcester, Massachusetts. I'm like kind of right outside there, called Paxton, and I've been playing football pretty much my whole entire life. At first, I started playing flag football because my mom was nervous about contact sports and stuff like that. So I played flag football, and then I started playing for the Worcester Cowboys, which is a tackle football team. And originally, I was a wide receiver for like my first year in 6th grade, and then our quarterback got hurt in the state championship game, and they didn't have anyone else to go to, and they knew I played baseball, and so they just stuck me at quarterback. And
did you have any experience before that, like practice, nothing?
No, nothing really.
Okay.
So they just kind of threw me out there, and we were down 14-0, and I was just running around back there throwing the ball around. We ended up winning it, and with in the fourth quarter we came back and we won, and then we went to the New England championship after that, and I started at quarterback, and I was a quarterback ever since.
Okay.
So you said you played baseball. I was a two-sport guy. I played football and basketball literally up until, I want to say, end of my junior year. I had to decide. Obviously, you had to make a decision at one point.
Yeah.
What age was that at, and what do you think baseball led you to be a better football player?
So I was actually a baseball player first my whole entire life. Growing up, I always thought I was going to play baseball in college. My brother plays baseball in college. My dad was a big baseball guy. Most of my family was. And so up until probably my sophomore year, I was always considering still playing baseball. While I was obviously playing football at the time, but I loved both. Baseball was kind of something I just did for fun, and then once everything started to pick up with football, I was like, okay, I want to pick this as my path. And
what'd you top it on the mound at?
96 was the hardest I ever threw.
Wee.
Yeah, that was the hardest I've ever thrown. But yeah, right around my sophomore year, that was when I decided that football was going to be my path. Still played baseball as it went on, but obviously stopped playing when I early enrolled because I missed the spring.
Schools ever tell you that you could play baseball too when they were recruiting you?
A couple schools.
Yeah, that's the same for basketball, but it's just recruiting pitch for football.
You ain't that athletic.
I've seen him play at Ramsey. He's pretty good.
He good?
He's pretty good.
But I was also 50 pounds lighter back then.
Yeah, sure. You could move a little bit.
No, yeah.
All right, so we were talking about, obviously people in the South don't really know much about boarding schools or what the boarding school life is like, and I didn't realize that you went to a boarding school either until before the show. What was that like that situation, how that prepared you to be able to adjust to the high school, or excuse me, the college lifestyle?
Yeah, it's definitely different for sure. I mean, I've been living in a dorm since I was 14 years old. So I originally went to Lawrence Academy, which is in Groton, Massachusetts. I went there all my freshman year, and then halfway through my sophomore year, after the football season, I transferred to Avon Old Farms, which is in Connecticut. It's 20 minutes right outside from Hartford. And so I went there for the rest of my time, and it's really just mini college, honestly.
How often do you get to see your family or leave campus if you're at a boarding school?
You can either be a 5-day boarder or a 7-day boarder. Yeah. And so I was a 5-day boarder, and you can stay on most weekends. For games, we played on Saturdays, which is not normal for high school. Usually they play on Fridays, but we would play on Saturdays. So I would stay most weekends in season, and then I'd try and go home as much as I could, but definitely not as much as a normal high school student would.
This is wild. I could not imagine being 14 to 18 years old and not going home every night.
Yeah, no doubt. And the second school I went to, Avon, was a suit and tie every day, all boys. Yeah. and I had school jobs. So like every Wednesday night, I had to sweep the dining hall, no matter what.
Damn.
Even if we played a game, like baseball game, like I would have to like sprint upstairs or sprint up because like our field was down below, and I had to sweep dinner after at like 7:30. So I'd have to run up. And
See, I went to a Jesuit school my freshman year, all boys thing, same thing, suit, tie, every day, all that. And I didn't necessarily want to go, but my brother went for all 4 years. My friends like, just give it a year, let's see if you like it. And after a year, I was like, I can't do it anymore. One, like suit, tie. Two, I need some females. Yeah, I need to see some females.
yeah, no doubt.
Did you have like
we had two
sister
sister schools? Yeah.
Okay, so you got some interaction every now and then.
Would you say that like that boarding school experience almost helped you when you got to Georgia? Because I would say that was a big part of getting to school, is adjusting and living in a dorm by yourself with roommates. Because I wasn't used to that. And
I would say no doubt. And I think the second school I went to, Avon, which is really what I claim where I went to high school, it was like a big part of discipline, like because you have to wake up every morning, like, and we most of the school days we had this thing called morning meeting before class, so like we would all get together as a school, and they would go over like the schedule for everything, and everyone would have to wear a suit and tie. So like every day I'd get up at probably 6:45 in the morning and put a suit and tie on. Every day.
Crazy.
No matter what, there wasn't like a semester like throughout the year that you didn't have to.
You get like a dress down day, but you
Made
still have to
beds,
wear like
room checks, everything.
yeah,
Did y'all do that in the
dorm
mornings?
bed check. Like they would come by and make sure you're in a room by 10:30.
Jeez, so like military school.
Yeah,
You
kinda.
were at Georgia before you knew you were at Georgia.
I know. Seriously, this is nothing when I got here.
So Kirby yelling over the microphone is nothing now compared to.
No, I definitely. At
prepared.
first, that was something like I was culture shock at first. What's going on? But you get used to it.
Let's talk about that then. Like obviously you're from the Northeast, come down to the South. Why the South? Why Georgia? And what were some of those culture shocks that kind of surprised you?
Yeah, I mean, the moment I picked up football, I always wanted to be the best, and to be the best is down south where the football is, and obviously at Georgia, and can't go any better than that. And I just wanted to play with the best, and that's really why I came here. And some of the culture shock things, like I'd say, just the speed of everything.
Yeah,
like that takes a big adjustment, and it's not something you can just pick up right away. It's kind of acquired over time through practice and reps and all that stuff. So I'd say definitely the speed of the game and all that stuff. Yeah.
What's one thing from down south that you like love, that you've learned to love that you didn't have up north?
See, I always tell my family back home, so people down here, down south, are a lot nicer than they are up north.
That's
no
true.
doubt. Like up north, they're going to tell you how it is and be just straight to the point. Probably if they don't like you, they're just going to tell you they don't like you. And that's just how it is. And then down south, like everyone's like super warm, like we'll help you out with anything you need. But like if up north, like if someone doesn't know you, then like they could care less what you need. Down south, they'll help you out no matter what.
A lot worse drivers down here too.
Yeah. Oh, I had my first instance when it snowed here the other day. It was like half an inch, and like I'm driving like so used to it, and people are like pulled over on the side of the road, like
no idea.
like hazard lights on. I'm like, what's going on? Like,
Oh, a bunch of softies we are. Where's the accent though? Where's the accent? My roommate in college was Arthur Lynch. I mean, heavy Boston accent.
Yeah.
Heavy. Like it took a year for him to understand half the words that Ben Jones, my center, was saying to him. But you don't have one.
I don't really have one. Yeah, my family doesn't really have one either. The biggest Boston accent you'll see is like a hockey kid.
Okay.
Like if you talk to a hockey kid, you probably won't understand.
Did you ever
what
play
he's saying.
hockey?
No, my whole entire family did. Like my mom's side was all big hockey players. But I played basketball instead.
You're built and you look like a hockey player.
Yeah, my whole family
I wish
was.
I could
So.
skate. I'm too tall.
I was a you too lanky to skate. Those
I used
long
to,
legs
I used
would be all
to,
over
I
the
used to
place.
rollerblade when I was little. That's what
Okay.
I used to do.
My dad did build a hockey rink in the backyard. Like he would like pride himself on it. Like he just loved to do it. But we didn't play hockey, so me and my brother would always go back there and play. And, I mean, we'd fight and play games and on the ice, which was probably good to teach you some toughness. But
So you talk about the coming to the South, being a part of the best, playing the best, and that's why you wanted to come down here. What were some of those moments like for you last year of being, whether it's in Sanford Stadium or a variety of other stadiums around the SEC? Like, what was that shocking moment of like, oh my God, there's 90 to 105,000 crazy fans going nuts for a football game?
I would probably say the first time I felt that way was when I ran out of the tunnel versus Alabama at Alabama.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, like this is cool. And it kind of took a moment just to soak it in, be a part of it all, and obviously you have to get back focused for the game. But just be able to sit there and know that my family was up there, experiencing everything was cool. That was a cool moment for me.
Pretty special. Last year, obviously banged up throughout the off season, trying to get healthy. How frustrating was that? Trying to maybe not obviously compete because Carson was the guy and Carson's the guy to the team, but just getting the reps, learning the playbook, working different drops and route combinations, working the receivers. What did you do to kind of catch up or get to where you need to be heading into your second season when you were banged up?
Yeah, I think just trying to take as many mental reps as I could.
Yeah.
I think being young and when you get on the sideline, you're hurt and everyone's out there practicing in spring ball, it can be easy to just kind of fall in the back and lose attention to everything. But I try to do my best just to meet extra with all the support staff and try and get in as much as I could with Coach Bobo and those guys, and just try and do as much as I could without being actually getting the physical part because of my leg. But that was definitely tough at first because you early enroll in high school and you're eager to get out there and play and show people what you can do, and then you get injured. But honestly, I think it's kind of a blessing in disguise because you learn quickly that things can happen fast.
Yeah.
And you got to react to it. But
I would say, I just wanted to ask, y'all both quarterbacks, most mental position in all sports. Y'all have both had your fair share of injuries. I think we all three have had our fair share of injuries. But I just wanted to say, what is something mentally that it could be off the field, you've learned from battling through these injuries since you were a freshman, now you're a sophomore? What's something you've learned mentally just to help you?
Going through injuries, I feel like you learn to be grateful for a lot of things because the moment, I feel like a lot of people wait for the moment to have something taken away from them to actually know how much they actually love something in the game. So it took me I had never really gotten hurt throughout high school or anything like that. And then the moment I get to college, I have a stress fracture in my fibula and I can't play anymore for the rest of the spring. I mean, it's tough because some days you're practice and all that stuff, and then you actually can't go out to practice. Yep. And you wish you could take all those moments back that you complained about not practicing and stuff like that. So I'd say through injuries and stuff like that, you learn to be grateful to be able to go play that sport every day.
Extremely.
So last year, what did you learn? A couple big things from, whether it's from Carson and kind of how he handled the offense, how he handled being a quarterback at Georgia, or even Bobo. I mean, that's one of the big reasons why I committed to Georgia was, I knew Bobo was a guy that had been in those shoes, had played quarterback in the SEC at Georgia. I could talk to him about things on the field, off the field. So what are some tidbits that maybe those guys told you or that you just observed, during those first 12 months? Yeah,
no doubt. I definitely learned a ton. Mentally and physically, I think I'm a whole different quarterback than what I was when I came here, and that's the whole reason why you come to Georgia, to get better. And from Coach Bobo, I mean, he's an offensive mastermind. He knows ins and outs of everything about football. And Carson, Gunner, and those guys it's a blessing to be able to be a part of the room with those guys. And I learned so many things from Carson where obviously he was a starter, and you can learn so many things from him from being a starter and what it takes to be a starter, and how to prepare like a starter. And then you have the Gunner aspect where he was the backup the whole entire year, and you can learn how to be a backup. And if anyone did it the right way, it was him. You saw when he came out in Texas, he balled out, and that's because the moment we started fall camp, even goes back to the spring, he prepared like he was a starter, and I think that's what it takes. So in order for me to be able, it was great for me to be able to see both sides of it, watch a starter play and also watch what a real backup should look like.
What were your thoughts when he got the crap knocked out of him for Texas?
See, a lot of people watch it.
That was one of the craziest hits I've ever seen.
A lot of people watch it and watch a guy get knocked out. And from an outside lens, it sees a quarterback getting destroyed and the helmet knocks out, and nobody expects him to get up. But if you're in the program, everyone knew that Gunner was going to get back up, because that's just who Gunner was.
I would say something about Georgia that separates, I would say, almost any other school is the way that they prepare quarterbacks from Carson to you and Gunner. Everybody has their own job because everybody's practicing like they're the starter.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because we get more reps, we have more talent, quite frankly.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
It's a grind.
Speaking of that, Carson, I think it was our first day of fall camp, and they went around the room and asked someone if they could give any words of encouragement, and Carson said, I just want all the quarterbacks in here to think that if they were starting in I don't know how many days it was, probably 24 days against Clemson, how are they preparing right now?
I like that.
And that changed my whole entire mindset. It's wow, if I really were about to go out and start against Clemson, I would prepare way different and everything. So I think learning that from him, always preparing like you're the starter when you're not actually the starter, it's just going to set you up for the long run.
All right, so now let's fast forward to now. It's off season, it's workouts, spring ball starts in a month and a half after spring break. What do you want to work on? As you kind of reassess what you did when you first got here during the bowl prep to obviously spring and then fall, and then during the season? What are some areas that you're like, hey, I over the next 6 months, 7 months, 8 months before fall camp, I need to become better at this, this, and this?
Yeah, I would say definitely the mental side of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, playing quarterback, like every decision happens like that. And It's got to be that every single snap. So I think the more I know about football, the more I know what's going on, how confident I am with the playbook. That's definitely, what I want. I always tell myself, like, I want to be so confident in the playbook that I could teach it.
Yeah.
And that has helped me just going up there and doing whatever I can, meeting with coaches and drawing plays and doing all that stuff, just so I can be as sharp as I can mentally going into the spring.
I would say, Ryan, when I first saw you get to Georgia, obviously there's a lot of like uncontrollable factors, like who your line is and who you're throwing to. But I feel like as it went on, your pocket presence and your feet moved a lot better, and your awareness in the pocket. That's also, I think that just comes with time and comfortability. But I think,
and like everything happened. Like when you get here, everything is so fast.
Yeah.
Playbook wise, just being in practice.
It's a new language.
And you're hearing things that you've never even like heard before, football wise, and that's definitely the biggest adjustment. And then it just takes reps, and also patience, because like you're not going to get everything right away.
Well, I would say too, what you faced defensively. Like I go back to what college football was a decade ago, and all we saw was like cover 4, cover 2, man.
But like
3.
our scout team at Georgia like plays, like they play on Saturdays.
Well, I
like,
know.
it's not like,
Well, I'm saying like just the complexity of the defense, like what you guys do defensively, what defenses do nowadays.
Schumann's always hiding, coming up something.
No doubt.
It's so much different. I mean, we could run double post 10 times in a game versus quarters, and the safety would take number 1, and I'd have one-on-one the back with the corner, and I thought we made so much hay on that play because that's all teams ran. Nowadays, you just get so many varieties of things, and which goes to the speed of the game being so much greater than what it is in high school.
Yeah, no doubt.
So this offseason, you've obviously had a year to become close with a bunch of the guys on the team. I know you're close with Lawson and guys like London. How are y'all like taking the next step together to build that chemistry for when it's time?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's in our program all the time. That's all we talk about is connection. And I think just the more you can get to know everybody in the program, no matter on defensive side, special teams, offense, the more you can get to know the people in your program, like that's when you can grow, because you can get on someone because actually know who they are and how they'll take it, or just to have love for somebody, you're going to play that much harder for them. Exactly. So I think, just no matter who they are on the field or what position they play, just trying to get as close as possible as we can.
Speaking of that connection, obviously the quarterbacks, we have to kind of go above and beyond of getting to know the guys, building relationships, whether it's offensive line, running backs, receivers. How do you build those relationships with, say, the new weapons, the new receiver from A&M, the new receiver from USC, and just even mid-year enrollees? Like how do you become more comfortable in that leadership role, even though you're still 19 years old?
Yeah, this is funny. So this actually goes back to my high school, Avon. Yeah. It was a rule at school where if you were walking on campus, you had to say hi to the person that was walking in front of you. Okay. So and you couldn't really have phones out. So when you were outside. Yeah. So no matter what, if you walked by someone, teacher, coach, student, older or younger, you just had to say hi. Wow. So I think when you can learn, they always said, saying hi can go a long way. Yeah. So anytime I walk by someone in the facility, I always try and give them some dabs or say what's up. Yeah. Just start a conversation. I think that goes a long way.
Damn right. That's awesome.
I'll be catching balls for this guy 2 times a week too. Yeah. We'll go late at night and throw and get the work in still.
And the more you do away from everything, not forced, not scheduled, you're just going out there with your guys and playing catch and just throwing the ball around. I think that goes a long way as well.
So off the field then, what do you enjoy doing? When this is the downtime a little bit, somewhat. Obviously you're
play golf, play some pickup basketball, play some cards with Pearce and those guys. Yeah.
We got a little card room at the house.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm not a very good golfer.
What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses of the golf game?
I can hit it really far.
Weaknesses.
It doesn't always go straight.
Clubs.
No, I just got to be fair. I got some new ones.
You're a little too tall.
No, that's exactly what it was.
I can hit the ball really far. It just doesn't always go straight. My short game's not bad though.
Okay. Just say your biggest flaw is you're a baseball player. That's all you gotta say.
just go work with some of the golf guys. You know, I tell both you guys.
I play with them a lot.
Those guys are great.
They are.
I play with them. I play with some of the current guys right now. I'll play with them.
Yeah, I played with them about 2 weeks ago.
There's a couple of them, they're like 5'9", 160, and they're hitting it like 320.
Yeah.
Most good golfers want to help you.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah. So
See, I didn't play
Me
golf
and Jaden
in college.
Rashada. So
Yeah.
he was here. It was about 4 weeks ago, and we went and played golf one day, and there was these 2 girls playing in front of us, and so we asked them if we wanted to play, and they were on the golf team. We had no idea. And they smoked us, killed us.
Oh.
It was pretty embarrassing.
Good for you. Your game and who you are as a quarterback, and obviously you talked about the maturing, you talk about the getting better at your craft. But if you had to describe your football game in 2 or 3 words, what would they be?
I would say tough, smart, and relentless too.
All right.
No doubt.
Love that. All right. Well, I think that's it, boys. Appreciate it, man.
Of course.
Good
Appreciate
time.
it.
Good
It's a great
luck.
time.
Hey,
No doubt.
it's good to be part of the Georgia quarterback fraternity. I'll say that. It's a special fraternity. I remember the guys when I was here that would hit me up, whether that'd be like Shock or Greeny or Stafford.
Yeah, I
or
love Shock.
Zaire. It's a really tight-knit community. I know it's different in today's game with guys moving around, but if you commit to being a guy here at Georgia, it's like I said, it's an awesome time. And
Definitely.
congratulations and good luck, man. So
Appreciate it. Thank you.
that's
Thank you for
it here
having
at the Players Lounge. Pearce Spurlin, Ryan Puglisi, and then Aaron Murray, and we will catch you later for another episode here at the Players Lounge.